Hi friends, it's Sarah, the owner and maker behind Multifarious Nature. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are a new viewer, welcome, and if you're a returning viewer, a big welcome back. I'm sorry, I totally forgot that I had that microphone there, and I probably just made a loud noise. That's the one tricky part about what I'm wearing right now, is trying to figure out how to use my microphone. Because if I put it on the cardigan, it'll probably do the same thing. And if I don't put it on the cardigan, it's also might do the same thing. Lots to talk about today. Super exciting. First things first, because most important, I want to talk about the shop update end of things. So, if you guys do not follow me on the newsletter, and if you do not follow me on Instagram, you probably don't know this. I did give you kind of a heads up that it was coming. So if you didn't sign up for the newsletter and you missed out, so sorry, but please sign up for the newsletter so you don't miss out going forward. Advents are live when this video goes live. When you guys are watching this, the Advents are currently live, so hopefully the pre-order is still available. I have an extremely, I have to emphasize this, extremely limited amount of Advents this year. I'm excited to bring them back, but because they're all hand-processed bats of wool, I was very limited as to what I could do, not only with the wool that's available, but also my time to actually make them. It takes a lot of time. So, that being said, I hope they're still in the shop when you're watching this video. If you are interested, make sure you pause this right now and go over to the shop. Follow the link. I'll include the link below in the video. And make sure that you try to nab one if you want one, because I do not want you to miss out if you really want one. They're super limited. I did snag one for myself, and I'm very excited. So the pre-order goes live Friday, so that was yesterday when you guys are watching this. Friday the 10th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you were a newsletter subscriber, you already got all the information about the Advent in your newsletter, so you're very well informed. I do have it currently, I'm recording on Thursday, I do have it currently in the shop as a coming soon listing. So if you were on Instagram and you saw it, you were able to go at least look at the listing and see all the specifics and the info, but you can't purchase one yet. So you can see how much they cost and everything, and then kind of plan accordingly. If you are watching it today, it's already live. So if you follow that link, you can buy it right there and then. It is a pre-order, meaning that it's not going to ship right away. So they are going to ship the beginning of November, and that way you'll get it in plenty of time for December. So very, very excited, you guys. At this point, I will tell you that the wool is all already carded. So I already did that. They just need to be all wrapped. All of the bats will be individually wrapped. It's really exciting. There are 6 hand-processed bats. And I will say the last day is more than 20 grams. So all of them they're all kind of a little bit more than 20 grams anyway. I always give a little bit of extra there because it's hand processed, and I want to make sure that you get 20 grams at least, and you will get more than that. But the last day, it's an extra special blend, and they're all purebred sheep, but at least to my knowledge. But I do want to let you know that the last one is extra special. So that one is more. You'll get more than 20 grams. So it's actually more than 120 grams of the entire Advent, but I just kind of put that as my disclaimer based off of 20 grams. It's like 120 grams of wool. However, you're going to get more than that. Very, very exciting. So definitely make sure you guys nab one if you're able. If you do miss out, make sure you sign up for that newsletter. You can also follow me on Instagram if you'd like, but the best way to find out as soon as possible is the newsletter. I always like to give you guys a heads up, and if there's any special deals going on, I will always make you guys aware, because the discount codes and everything are always through the newsletter. There are not any discount codes for this Advent. They are full price, so I didn't want to let you guys know that. All right. That was the most important thing I wanted to share, first and foremost, so that no one misses out if they want to try to snag one. Okay, we'll talk about what I'm wearing. So I am wearing my big cozy cardi. It is nice and cool today. It is, I think, 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's a cool 60. It's very cool outside, so I'm loving it. Pulling out all the cozy goodness. This is, like I said, my big cozy cardi by Andrea Mowry, using my Multifarious Nature hand-dyed colorways. This is chestnut, and I think I have a couple chestnut in the shop as we speak. So if you are interested in chestnut, it's a super cozy brown with wonderful layers, very warm and cozy, some like a little bit of orange undertones and such in there. And then this is my Autumn Kiss colorway, which is very vibrant, super fun, and I have a fun project coming up that I'm going to use this colorway in. I used my alpaca cloud base for this one, and so it's super, super soft and fluffy. It's an alpaca like shawl basically, or I don't know, it's like a shawl collar attached to a cardigan, and it's super comfortable. I will say it took me forever to knit this cardigan, but I love it. It's one of my go-to cozy cardigans, like literally cozy cardi is the perfect description, and I love wearing it at home while I'm just lounging around or knitting. It has a nice length in my sleeves too. They don't get terribly in the way. The like shawl collar does get in the way though, I will say that. If you're trying to do dishes on something like that, it can get in the way. Alright, we're going to get into the next thing. And before I do that, I totally forgot to set my timer. So we're kind of winging it, you guys. We're winging it. I'm just going to do that and pretend that I talked for 10 minutes. I don't think I did. I don't think I did. So, next project. I did or will be casting on a new project. So I think I want to talk about that one first. We're going to like go a little rogue. We'll talk about the work in progress before it even starts. So I wasn't initially going to do this. I was not. I have participated in the West Knits Mystery Knit-alongs in the past, and I had taken a hiatus from it, but I really enjoyed it. I did what is the name of it? I forgot about it last time too when I talked to you guys about it. But I love his mystery knit-alongs. Now, sometimes the shawls aren't really my cup of tea, but they're all very artistic and creative stitch and textures, and really plays with color nicely. So I was like, you know, I saw his video, his first clue video with like directions on how to do it. It popped up on my YouTube because I follow West Knits on there. And I tell you what, when I saw the first clue, I was like, I'm intrigued. So this year's Mystery Knit-along, yes, I'm partaking. I did buy the pattern, and I am going to partake. So it's called the Mystery MusiKal. There is the photo for you guys. So I did purchase that, and I am doing the first section. I have not started it yet, but I am going to do it. I just kicked up all of the yarn. I'm a week behind because Clue 2 just released, but it's each Thursday the Clue will release, and I'm just going to go with that. I'm going to knit with it as I am able, and I know I won't finish at the end of October because I am a week behind, but maybe the beginning of November, maybe I could have done. I'm not going to give myself too much constraint on that. However, I do want to give myself kind of that boost of focusing on it. So I'll still be knitting on my other projects, but I think I'll be focusing on this one a little bit. I'm using lots of fun fall colors, and so you'll understand. So these are the colors I'm going to use for my Mystery MusiKal. I'm kind of going with I don't know, it's not monochromatic. It's not monochromatic, but they're kind of in a similar family. And then I decided to definitely do a pop of color as my like high contrast pop. And these are all super fun colors. And I did mention I was going to be knitting something fun with a color. So I kind of told you guys a little bit. And he did have he's calling it mohair dare. So like there'll be points throughout the knit where you might want to use some mohair to get some fun fuzz and some fun effect. And you can use a total contrasting color for mohair, or you can use a complementing color or same color as a color you already have, which that's what I'm going to do. I don't want to get too wild with the colors because I want it to be something I will wear. That's the one tricky part with some of his shawls. I just don't wear them too much because they're just a little out of my wheelhouse a little bit. But this one I'm pretty excited about. I think it's going to be really fascinating. And the colors that I'm using are all like autumn colors from prior year. I'd say most of these I think came out last year. Yeah, these are all relatively new colorways. They are, unfortunately, a lot of these are not currently in the shop because they were pre-order colorways. But I might bring them back at some point. So if you are interested, definitely reach out to me. I'm happy to try to do something custom for you. But the colorways that I'm doing as my main colors, I'm going to start with, I love this color. I just made a shawl with it, and it is Nightshade. So that is one of the colors that I'm going to use. This is my darkest color that I'm going to be doing, like my deepest depth of shade. And then the next one I have is a super fun one with a very long name. And it is, it's all a bunch of Hocus Pocus. And hopefully you guys can see that. Super fun. It is primarily a dark purple with some dark navy speckling in there. There is even a little bit of yellow speckling in there. And it's super fun. Lots going on. I think there's even some brown speckling. It's just really, really fun. And this is a very moody color, and definitely, I'll get my face out of there so it'll focus on the yarn. So it's all a bunch of Hocus Pocus. And then the next colorway is Hunter's Moon. This is on my alpaca base. So I am using a couple different bases. This one is a non-superwash merino. This one is superwash merino and nylon. And then my alpaca, or I think it's got the alpaca merino and nylon in it. Oh, my eyes. So 20% superfine alpaca. And this is that Hunter's Moon. Now, this is a fascinating color, and it's extremely hard to capture in video. I'm going to see if it'll focus. If I can get my eyes out of the video, it'll probably focus. It looks like an oil slick a little bit. It has this like purpley gray undertone, and then there's this deep gray blue. It's just like a steel blue gray. It's fascinating. It's a really layered colorway. It's so pretty. So that's Hunter's Moon, and I actually am using the Hunter's Moon alpaca base. So instead of mohair, I do not have a lot of mohair, and I currently do not dye on mohair. I would love to do that, but this is the alpaca base. And so this is my alpaca cloud, and this is that beautiful color. And you really can see this oil slick because of the like silk that is the core of this. It keeps trying to focus on my eyes. Sorry, guys. But I don't know if you can see that, but there is a sheen to that, and it's so pretty, and it does. It looks like an oil slick. So I'll be using this for that mohair dare portion, which sometimes the mohair dare is being held with the color. So this is the exact same color, but it's on the alpaca, which you see how much lighter it looks just because of that alpaca floof. But then I can also sometimes carry it by itself. And I know alpaca is a little bit thicker. It's not exactly lace weight, but I'm going to go with it. Stephen West is all about experimenting, having fun, and not taking it too seriously. And I love that. So I'm all for it, and I think it's going to be really cool. And then the last colorway. So there's actually 4 colors, and then the mohair or alpaca. And this is my contrast, and it's my autumn kiss. So this is what's currently on my shawl right here, but this is my alpaca cloud base. So you see how it's a little bit lighter. Again, I got to blink my eyes out here so you can see it. This is a beautiful speckled colorway. There's some deep violets in there and like reds and really vibrant. And so this is definitely that autumn, like as the leaves change and things get really vibrant. There's some beautiful leaves out there. And so there's going to be some nice contrast. These are subtle contrasts. I did take a photo with the like gray and black so that I could see how these colors will be different from each other. But then we're going to add this super fun pop of color, and I think it's really pretty. I think it's going to be super fun and moody, and I'm here for it. I'm really excited because these are colors I've wanted to knit with for a while. I have knit with two of them. I've knit with Nightshade, and I have knit with the alpaca or the autumn kiss, but I have not knit with the It's All a Bunch of Hocus Pocus or Hunter's Moon. So I'm really excited about that. I think it's going to be super pretty. If you do want to kind of spoil it for yourself, which sometimes for me, I like the mystery knit along because it's fun. I mean, it is fun. And the fact that it falls in October and mystery, it's really fun. It's cute. I love it. I am here for it. But because he is so unique with his patterns, I do have a hard time jumping in and taking one on because they usually are pretty big. Like shawl blankets, schlanket. They're pretty huge. And if I'm going to put that much time into it, I really want it to be something that I'm going to like and enjoy. And from what I'm seeing with the stitch, the complexity of the patterning and everything, I think it's really going to be a nice challenge and something very different from what I've ever done based on like the construction I've seen so far. So for me, it took just clue number one and seeing what he has done with it. So if you go onto his YouTube channel, Wes Knits, and look at the Mystery MusiKal clue 1, and like you can fast forward all the way to the end if you want to ruin it for yourself, which I totally did. You fast forward all the way to the end, and then you can see what it looks like. And let me tell you, I was pretty intrigued by it. Now, what's fascinating is if you kind of watch a little at the beginning and you can see how it's being put together, and then see the end, it really is inspiring, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited for and here for it. I'm not sure what it's going to look like at the end because after seeing clue 2, I can tell that his construction, he's going to do something pretty fascinating and different than I've ever done before. So, really cool. So definitely join in if you're interested, and yeah, have some fun with me. I'm really excited about it. Okay, so that is my first work in progress, or will be work in progress. And then the next one's one you're familiar with. So this is my Weekender Crew using plutolopi, and it's a burnt orange colorway, and old mill yarn. It's an alpaca merino lace weight, just held double. And I do that specifically because plutolopi is pretty darn durable. However, it is unspun, and I haven't had a lot of issues with plutolopi. I've had more issues with Nutiden. Plutolopi is pretty darn durable, but I really like adding that extra strand for strength and durability, so it holds its shape even better. It does tend to, I don't want to say felt, but stick to itself, so it should be fine. So you don't have to do that. But I really like the change of color. So this is what it looks like in its plate. Is that burnt orange color, really beautiful. Some deep like reds and orange in there, really pretty. Plus, I'm holding that warm brown alpaca merino lace weight with it, and it adds this wonderful depth of shade. If you can see that, it makes it much warmer and more of a brown. Super pretty. So right now I'm actually knitting it wrong side out. The stockinette is actually the wrong side, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I am about an inch away from where the pattern calls for. I just have to kind of figure out if I want to make it longer or not. I do have enough yarn to do that, so I might do that, but I'm excited. I'll have to try it and see what I think. Yeah, I might make it just a touch longer. I just really like a cozy sweater that is not too short. it's going over a dress, it can be cropped, but this is something I would want to wear over like jeans and stuff. So I want to make it comfortable and the length that I want. Just loving it. And I am knitting this, I think it's a size, can I tell what size needle this is? A 4-point, a size 6. A size 6 needle. So there you go. Loving it. So much. So that is something I've been knitting on this week, and it's wonderful because it's nice and cool temperatures. Like I said, yesterday it was 58 degrees Fahrenheit as the high. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it so much. And I know some people are saying they're cold. And yeah, it's cool out, but for those of us that, one, are kind of warm-blooded, but also have a lot of work to do outside and with critters and such, it really makes it so much easier. Like, I have to clean out the sheep hut. That's going to make my life so much easier in that aspect. The winter can be harder, though. I will say the winter is harder for taking care of animals when it comes to many things, especially their water. So that I'm not really looking forward to. But yeah, I'm not really looking forward to that part. But otherwise, the cool temperatures, fall and spring, I love those temperatures for the animals. Okay, what else? What else, guys? I think that's it as far as like what I'm currently working on. Because I did not work on my Straya cardigan at all. I'm looking at it right now. Again, it's sitting there staring at me and giving me the like stink eye. But yes, I got sucked into a new pattern. What can I say? Sometimes you really just want to knit with your fall colors, and I want some colors. I want to play with color. That's the one thing. Like, I love the colors of the sweater that I'm currently working on. I love the Straya. It's like a gray, nice soft gray. But the thing is like I crave color and interact, like painting with yarn. I just love it, and that you can really get a lot from spinning yarn too. So I'm really excited about eventually diving into some fun color packs that I have of fiber. I'm still debating whether I want to blend those with other wools to kind of give it. I'm not sure. I really don't know, you guys. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. This is what goes on in my head. So if you're ever wondering what on earth it's like, I got a lot of creativity going on up there, and sometimes it's overwhelming to the point where I just do not know what to do because I have so many things that I want to do. But I will keep you guys posted. I know I haven't been as active on Instagram lately and Facebook. I'm just going to be honest. I've been really busy. Like, I don't like saying that because everybody's busy. Life is life, right? But it's just, I feel like it's been extremely busy. There are so many days, I cannot count them even on two hands, where I find myself coming home from work and then, working with the critters, working with Multifarious Nature, like the product, like working on the product, and then my husband, like, we look at the clock and it's like, hey, we got to make dinner, we got to eat and go to bed. I feel a little bit like I get some reprieve after we eat dinner, and we usually watch a little bit of a TV show or something, and I knit, and I feel like that's when I can kind of like unwind. But I haven't really been exercising too much other than taking care of the animals, which is a bummer. I want to do some more exercising. And then reading, it's kind of hit or miss. I'll read a little here and there, but there are so many days where it just boom goes by. I've gotten some really good books from the library, and I just don't know how much I'm going to get to read them. So hard. Audiobooks are amazing. The world before audiobooks, I don't know. Did we just not have as much going on in our lives? I'm trying to think back, like when I was a kid. When I was a kid, we did not have audiobooks, or like we didn't listen to audiobooks really. I think it just wasn't something we really did. We read books. And so when I think of the time that we had, I guess times were simpler, right? You're a kid. You don't have as many responsibilities. And we all have multiple jobs. So a lot of people do. We work my husband and I both work full time, and then we have a little homestead at home, which is its own like full-time business on its own, like not business, but like full-time job. And then a passion project. I guess I'd call that a passion project. And then we have we both have our part-time jobs. Husband does his own thing. I have my own thing. And it's a lot. Like, it's a lot. And there's only so much time in the day. And yeah. And we currently don't have any little ones. So I should say that. Like, I should put that out there. If you're a new viewer and you've made it this far, thank you for sticking to the end and the life update end of things. But yeah, I don't know how people do that. I mean, I'm sure you can do that, but I'm just not sure how people do all of that. We have dogs, we have critters, we have sheep, dogs, chickens. We no longer have ducks. Full disclaimer. We no longer have ducks. But it's a lot. It's a lot. So, yeah. Anyway, but as I say that, I am starting a new project. So clearly I am not that overwhelmed that I have to cut back, apparently. I will say it is because I've only been working on one project this week. And so if that's any indication of my knitting, that's how I can tell I have a little bit too much going on, is that I focus on one project and I don't allow myself to work on multiple projects because it's too much. So, but I am totally going to work on this MusiKal, the Mystery MusiKal shawl, and I'm totally going to continue to work on my crew, my weekender crew, because I really want to wear this, hopefully in November, because I know it won't be done in October. It would be if I focused on it only, but that's not going to happen now that I want to do this shawl. And I'm excited. It was my reward. It was my reward because my goal was to get this Advent, like the actual main product of the Advent done, and that part is done. I just need to package it all up, that kind of thing. So really, that's my reward. The MusiKal, Mystery MusiKal. Some reward themselves when they cast something off. There you go. All right, you guys, my timer has ceased. I think we've hit that time. I don't want to run out here. I hope you are well. I look forward to hearing from you. I hope you're doing good. I hope that you're working on something fun that you are making. I'd love to hear what that is, what you're up to, and I hope you guys are staying healthy. I know a lot of folks are kind of getting sick now that the temperatures are going all over the place, so I hope you're healthy, and I look forward to hearing from you and chatting with you soon. Take care. Bye.